access the Venture dashboard, you need to go to the Venn digital website. In the top right hand corner, there's a login button, and it will redirect you to this homepage basically here, where you can sign in, and then you'll be presented with the dashboard. So I'll quickly just run through everything that I just went through then. So you've got the CMS, which is the main part of this call today, that we're going to run through that and how everything works in there. You've got the media hub, where all the blogs and media items are managed, things like podcasts as well. And then you've got the recruitment app, where you can sort out your jobs, job applications, CVs, consultant profiles, and set up job alerts as well. But we'll be doing other training videos on those throughout the year. Just to run through some other bits that you have on the Venture dashboard as well. At the top, you've got the knowledge base. So if I'm not available for whatever reason, or you can't get access to anyone at Venn, which shouldn't be the case, you can also look through the knowledge base, and we have some tutorial guides, help docs, video tutorials and things like that on everything to do with Venture itself, not just the CMS, but also the media hub and the recruitment app. We've got our software updates as well. Being a SaaS license, we are always looking to improve the platform. So you can see any sort of software updates that we have brought out. The roadmap, so things that we have got planned for the future as well. Obviously, Venture is an evolving evergreen platform. We don't want to just keep it as it is now. You're bought into the evergreen license that is Venture. So you can see things that we have got planned throughout the year as well, and when they're going to be when they're going to be released. And then also raise a ticket. So if you ever need to ask anything, you can always just raise a support ticket, and that'll be picked up by a member of the support team. If you scroll further down, you've also got some insights and resources. So as you can see there, my Venture platform training Q&A, that is there on the homepage. Then also some of our monthly recruitment marketing collectives that we host, and also even a podcast with our founder, Brian. So I'm sure some of you may have already given that a listen, but if not, you should do. It's really good. And then also at the bottom, you've got some more help docs and software updates that we've brought out. So now that everyone's here and you can see both screens, then we will dive into the CMS. All you need to do to launch this is click on the Launch App button. This should then redirect us to the back end of your website. Now, please do let me know as well if at any time the screen does go off, then we'll just try and get that back on. So basically, obviously, as many of you will know, this is the back end of your website. This is the CMS. This is where you'll see every single web page of your site. Now, as you first look at it, it may seem quite overwhelming, especially if you've not used the CMS before, and if you're one of the prospective clients and you haven't seen this before, it may seem quite overwhelming. But honestly, as soon as we dive in and you've gotten the gist of it, you'll be absolutely fine. Honestly, I couldn't use the CMS at all about 12 months ago, and now I'm literally doing live webinars with it. So I'm sure you guys will be absolutely fine. So I'll just quickly run through the options that we have on the left-hand side. So we've got the list of web pages, which is the one that you guys will be using the most when you are logging into the CMS. You've got your documents library. You've got your image library. You've got the publish site feature, which I will go through. The publish of the files, and then also the edit users. So this is basically anyone that will have access to the CMS and can log in and make the changes. And then the site settings as well. So the first one that we'll use is the web pages, because as I said, this is the one you'll be using the most. So when you click on web pages, you'll be left with this screen here. So on the right hand side, you've got the full list of every single web page. Then on the left hand side, you've just got the shortened list, which is basically you can click on the plus arrow and the other pages will open up. This is the one that you'll probably want to use the most. You have also got the search for the page as well. So if I want to type in about, then you can type it in there, and then the about us page will show. It's as simple as that. So I'm going to use the home page for the example for this session today. So all you need to do to open the home page is click on it once. You'll be greeted with another window, which is essentially a 75% accurate representation of what your website homepage would look like as if it was on a big screen. Obviously, bearing in mind the CMS window is much smaller, so that's why it's only 75%. So as most of you will probably know, Venture is a modular-based platform. So we build all of our pages off modules, also known as building blocks. So basically, these can build every single web page for your site. So as you can see here, if I hover over this, it goes blue. This here is a building block. So we've got a range of different types of building blocks right here at Venn. We've got text boxes, we've got image 50-50 splits, we've got big hero video ones, we've got carousels, we've got accordions. I think we actually have over 80 different modules. And I think it was the other day, someone actually called me out and said, well, how many is over 80? I think it is actually 84 different modules that we've built and designed over the last 10, 15 years that we've been doing this, that we think you guys will need to build the perfect recruitment website, okay? So as I just mentioned, if you hover over this on the left-hand side, you will see that this has gone blue. This here is a building block. Scroll down, this one is as well, it's gone blue, and this is, and this is. So you can see you've got all these different building blocks on your web page, but the best thing about it is they're all edited, moved around, deleted, and added in the exact same way, no matter how big or how small the building block is. So just for the example, I'm going to click onto this one now. If I wish to edit one of these modules, all you need to do is click on it once. You'll be left with 3 options. So the first option is the pen icon, which is to be able to edit the module. The bin icon is to be able to delete the module, and then the cog is the module settings. So if you wish to edit the module, all you need to do is click on the pencil once, and it'll open up a further window, which is where you'll see all the back end of this module, which is where you can start to populate the different type of content for that module. Now, at Vennture, we've tried to make this as user-friendly as possible, because obviously we don't want you guys to struggle, more so because it'll make me more work if you do. Then each field has been labeled really clearly, so you know exactly what it is that you are trying to edit. So as you can see here, the label is pre-title, so you know that's clearly the pre-title, right? Title there. The tag, now this is more for SEO purposes. So the tag is so you can set the title as like a H1, H2, or H3. Obviously, for the main title of a module or a building block, you would want this to be as a H1 because it's the first one. And then if there's any more subtitles within that, possibly in a different building block, then you'd have that as a H2 or H3. Okay, so it's really easy to use, and it will automatically be set to the default one when you do land on this particular module. Going further down, it's really easy to say to be able to add in an image. So you clearly know this is where you're adding the image. Now, if you want to add in an image, you've got 2 different options. Okay, so the first one is the browse. So this is where you can select an image from your computer files. So if you just recently uploaded a new, I don't know, you've rebranded, you've got a new logo or something like that, you've had some new headshots done, you want to get them onto the website, and you haven't already uploaded them, just click browse, and then it'll open up your files on your computer here. So you can just quickly save those to there, and then that will go into there. Or alternatively, if it's an image that you've already saved and used on the website, you can click select from library here, and then this will bring up all the images that have already been used on the website. So then obviously you can just go through and select whichever one you want to use. Okay, you've got the alternative text as well for all images. This is a feature that's across every image module across the CMS. Going down as well, so this is the main content of this particular building block. We've tried to make it very much like Word. So as you can see at the top, you've got your bold, italics, underline, strike through. You've got your numbered list, your bullet points. You've got your quotation marks, and then also your text alignment as well. So we've tried to give you as many tools as possible to really be able to edit these particular building blocks and the content. So it's really simple to use. Say if I want to highlight this text here. Okay, I want to put it in bold. Just literally click on bold. It's as simple as that. Italics and underline, as you would imagine. Going down as well, so we've got some other cool features. So we've got the hyperlink. So this is a really useful tool if you want to hyperlink any sort of text to an external website. Don't really ask me why you want to take anyone away from your website, but you never know, you might want to. Actually, in the instance, let's say, for example, you've just done some charity work. You've done a charity walk and you're really proud of this walk, okay? And you want to present this new module on your homepage. You want to showcase how kind you are. You've done all this charity work, right? So you've got a module about a certain charity and you may want to say, find out more about this charity. So all you do is just type that into the box here. You just highlight the words, click on the hyperlink there, and then you just pop in the URL of that charity's website, hit save, and then that word will then be hyperlinked. And when you save it on the front end, you click on find out more here, and it will take you to that website. So it's a really useful tool as well. You can also change the heading size of the fonts. You can change the fonts if you wish, but it is also worth bearing in mind that obviously when we build your website, we've added in all your CSS, your styling, your branding. So you will have chosen a font already. And the best thing about this is that's default on the website. So anytime you put any content in, titles, text, imagery, it will all already automatically be in your font, your style, and your colored branding. Okay, so I wouldn't recommend changing these, but you can if some instances you need to. And that's likewise with the size of the font. Each module has been built specifically to have a certain font size. So again, I wouldn't recommend changing these, but we have given you the option if you can. Okay, and for you out there who think you are a bit of a coder, if you want to change the code, you can write it in there as well. I never really look at it this way. I'm always just doing it on this because code sometimes goes straight over my head. I know I've been working here for a year now, but haven't quite been able to write in code. Just going further down. So this is another feature that's on the same for every single one of our media modules or building blocks. So as you can see here, we've got 2 images set in stone. Now, they don't just have to be images, right? They can be videos, and they can be YouTube videos or Vimeo files. So we actually give you the option of adding in either an image, video, or whatever it may be. So at the top here, you can see we've got the link for an MP4 file. So if you've got a raw image that you want to upload, you can just pop that in here. It's the same about adding an image, click browse, upload it from your desktop. Or obviously if you've already got it saved up to your system, then you can just add it from the library. You can upload the image here. Also, if you've got a YouTube embed link and it's a link to a YouTube video, just pop that in there, okay? And then whichever one you select at the top in the media type dropdown, that is the one that will be populated and will show on the front end, okay? So a lot of the times when I get a client coming to me saying, Sam, I've just added in this brand new video, but for some reason the image is showing, I don't know why, Vennture must be broken. It's not. I can understand you may have missed the drop down, but at the top, you just need to make sure whichever one you want to show is the one that's selected. So if I've populated a YouTube embed link in there, for example, I need to make sure that YouTube is selected there at the top, and then that is the one that will show on the front end, okay? So it is very easy to miss, I understand. We just need to make sure whichever one you want to show is populated. Going down furthermore, so on padding, so padding is something that's on every single one of our modules as well. Most of you probably already know what it is, but essentially it is the padding and the spacing between the module above and the module below. 9 times out of 10, I'd recommend to just have it as padding top, padding bottom, but in some circumstances, depending on the styling and the design of your website, you may want it just at the bottom or at the top, and you can easily change that in the drop down. So once you've made your changes, you need to hit save. You've got the button at the bottom there. Once the change has been saved, it will say at the top in pink, which is great. I can scroll down. Now I can see that the text that I highlighted, put in bold and underlined has changed. So that's great. Now, a lot of you may be thinking, well, a lot of you that haven't used the system, that is, once I've made my changes, is that it? Is it live for the world to see? The answer is no. You will need to publish the changes to staging and to live, okay? So we have 2 different versions of our website. Now, this is very important. We have 2 different versions of the website, one called the staging version, and then obviously one which is the live version of the website. So once you've made your changes, you want to be able to publish these changes to staging first, because this is like a tester, a review version of the website. Once you've checked it on staging and you're happy that everything works, then you just need to publish it to live. So to be able to do this, at the top of every web page in the CMS, you've got 2 buttons in pink. One that says publish to staging, one that says publish to live. Now, once you're happy with your changes in the CMS and you think, yes, okay, these look good, at the top, click Publish to Staging. Some code will load on the screen. It looks like it's doing a bit of a software update. It should only take a few seconds. And once you're happy with this, it will return back to this page here. And then you would just need to check what it looks like on the staging version of the website. To be able to do this, all you need to do at the top, there's a URL here. So you can see that says Venn Agency. Obviously, this is our demonstration site, but it will say your website's name, and it'll say staging. All you need to do is click on that link once. This will then redirect you to another version of the website. As you can see now, it's much bigger than it was previously. Obviously, that's what I was saying before. It's only about 75% chance of the staging version of the site. So you click on the link, and then you can see here, this is a full screen of the of your staging version. Obviously, I haven't actually published the changes. That's why you can't see them in here. But as you can see, this is a much bigger version of the site. So some things that you see in the CMS might be slightly different on the full size of the screen. So once you go through, just double check that you're happy that everything works. Your drop down's working. Yeah, okay, the changes look great. So this is basically an accurate representation of the website as it would look if you were to publish it live. And once you've made your changes, you've checked out the staging. Then at the top here, publish to live. You'll be able to publish it to live, and then it will be out for the world to see. Okay. So the most important thing is to always double check on staging first before you publish it to live. Okay, so that's how you edit a module, right? And like I say, we've tried to make it as user-friendly as possible, and every module is pretty much the exact same way to edit it. Obviously, each module is just slightly different because of different functionalities. So just for example, this one here, this is more of a drop-down one. So click on it once. If you want to edit it, click on the pen icon. Go across, so you've still got the back end of the website. So obviously this is the main content for the module. You've got the title, the specialisms. Now on the left-hand side now, because it's a drop-down, you've been given these different options to add in. Okay, so these would be your sectors or your specialisms. So you've got DevOps here, digital marketing. Now if you want to edit one of these, all you need to do is click on it once, and then it brings up the back end of that as well. So it's like another layer that you can dive into. And this is where you can update the content, which we have seen here. If I scroll down, you can see DevOps. Click on it once. This is then the content that is shown there. Okay. Now, if I want to add in another one, I can click Create New, and I can just call this test. Oh, capital letter. Okay, and then obviously you can put in all your content there. Hit save. And then you've got another option at the bottom there as well. If you want to move the order of them, so perhaps you don't want to have DevOps first, you may want to have digital marketing, you just simply move that up on the top on the left hand side there. So you've got all these different options. Okay, as well, if you've finished with a certain specialism, you're no longer working, well, example, I'm going to delete that with the bin icon on the left. It comes up, do you really want to delete this item? Yes, confirm. And then that should delete. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Then once I've made my changes again, then just publish it out. Okay, so that's pretty much how you would edit any single module. I'm not going to go through over 84 different modules because we'll be here all day. And so I've just shown you two there, so you get the idea. Once you go into it, you'll be able to see, what part of the building block you are editing. Okay, so as I mentioned before, we've got 84 different modules that you can choose from, but obviously we're not going to have them all on one page because it's not the greatest user experience. You'd just be scrolling for hours, right? So obviously each web page has been set up with a bank of different modules or building blocks that you guys have chosen when you're designing the website. Okay, but this isn't how it is. You're not trapped with this single one page set design. The whole benefit of Vennture and the Venn product is that you can move these modules around, right? So literally all you need to do on the right hand side, we've built in a drag and drop functionality. So on the right hand side here, you've got this icon. Now it looks like two crosses. Literally all you need to do is click on it once and it's a drag and drop. You can move it around. Now, as I'm scrolling, can you see the little green boxes that appear? So basically when that goes orange, you can drop that module into there. Don't ask me why the platform owner hasn't made them bigger. They could have made them slightly bigger, giving us more of a chance to be able to drop them in. But I guess they just want us to be accurate, right? So we drop it in. There we go. It's gone that goldy orange color, release. And now that module, there you go. So that text module is now sat above the specialisms module. So it's as simple as that, easy to use. So that gives you basically the freedom to be able to rearrange your web pages if you want to, or add new ones in. And you won't be stuck with the single design that you had when you sign off the website compared to 10 years time when you're still transforming this website. And that is the same for every single building block. It's not just a text box or a video, no matter how big or how small the building block is, that's where you can move it around. Okay, so I've shown you how to edit a module now, and I've shown you how to move them around. So the other feature that we had is also the add a building block in. Okay, so as I mentioned, as I've kept mentioning, we've got all these different types of building blocks. Now, if you want to add one of these in, all you need to do is click on the top left-hand corner. We've got a plus sign. Okay, and as you can see there, it says add a module in. So if you want to be able to add in a different module that you've got on another web page, let's say the About Us, for example, you've seen a really nice module on there that you'd like to use on the homepage. So if I scroll across, let's just find one here. So yeah, okay, this Meet the Teams one, okay, because that's going to be relevant to everyone, okay? So click on it once. What you need to do is you need to find out the name of the building block. So if you click on it once and click on the cog, which is the module settings, click on it once, it opens up another window here, and it will give you the title of it at the top. So that says, so this module here is called the team. Okay, so just remember that. You can either copy it, you can write it down, just memorize it. Go back to the page that you wish to add it onto, which is the home page. Okay, and then go to the top left-hand corner, click on there, and it gives you two different options. Okay, so the first one is select a reusable building block, which I'll come to shortly. That's a different type of building block that we have. But then this one here is the module type. Click on the drop down and then basically list all the different building blocks that we have. You can either scroll down and find it, or you can simply just type it in there. It was the team, wasn't it? There we go. The team. Click on it once. You can change the name of the building block if you wish, but we have labeled them so you should be able to understand what they're called, like the team. So it's obviously a Meet the Teams one, but you can change it if you want to. And you can also choose whereabouts on the page the building block will land. But of course, again, you don't really need to use this because you do have the drag and drop feature. So I just click Save, Continue. And now it's opened up the back end of this particular building block. So this is where it's essentially now a white canvas where you can start to populate the different module. So the title is going to be Meet the Team. The tag, so we want that as a H1 because it's the main title. The link, the link is going to be for the button. Okay, so on the button you'll have, let's just say, read more here. So the link, that's where you can choose which page you want that button to go to. So this is every single web page on your site. So there should be a Meet the Teams page. Okay, so it looks like we haven't got a meet the teams page set up already on here. So I'll just go for the jobs page for the example, okay? Padding, yes, top and bottom, and the custom CSS class, that's just for our designers. So save and changes. Okay, so now we've set up the back end of the module. Now you can start to create the different profiles for that meet the teams building block, okay? So on the left-hand side, it says no items yet. So click create new. So name, I'm going to do Sam Watkins, position, CEO, no, joking, not CEO. I'll just put support desk manager. Okay, I'm not going to upload my headshot, and then I can link it to a page if I want to. Save changes. Go back off it. May need to give it a little helper hand at the top to refresh the page. Scroll down, and remember it will be at the bottom. So there you go. The meet the teams dropped in there at the bottom. It's got my profile. On the drag and drop, if I want to move that up, I can just drop it in here. Scroll down, and there you go. So now the meet the teams module has been dropped in there, and you can start to populate this out. You can have as many as you want on there. I'd probably only recommend having about 8 on there, four in 2 rows, because you don't want it to be too long. But yeah, so that's a really easy way to add in a building block. Now, you may have some modules that you haven't actually used on the website before and aren't on different pages, and you may find it difficult to find these certain building blocks. So we have actually built into everyone's CMS's a building block library. This should be found at the bottom of the list of web pages on the left-hand side. And if you click on here, you've got the whole different sections and list of different modules that you have available. So you guys can actually see what they would look like. So on here, you can see we've got the accordions collection, which is essentially like a drop down. Call to actions, different carousels, your 404 modules, your Google Map collections, hero collections, which is essentially like your background, your main hero on the homepage, navigation and footers, set layouts, different templates. So you can select these, you can go into here, you can see the different lists. So this was a medium heading here, and you've got all the different accordions that you want on your site. So you can choose which one is fit for purpose. So yeah, so that's basically how you can add in a different building block. Okay, so I'm just going to go back to the home page. So yeah, so we've shown you how to edit a module now, how to move them around, and also how to add one in. Okay, so now the last feature in regards to the building blocks and modules is how to delete one. So let's just go back to this charity that I've been talking about before. So you've promoted it now, but no longer want to promote it on the homepage. So you want to delete the module. Okay, all you need to do is click on it once, click on the bin icon. It'll come up. Do you really want to delete this module? Yes, confirm. There you go. And then I'll scroll down. That is now deleted. Okay. It's as simple as that. And yeah, so obviously once you've deleted one again, because you've made a change, you would need to publish that to staging, test that it's deleted, and you're happy with it, and then publish it to live again. Okay. So as I slightly touched on before, we actually have 2 different types of building blocks. Okay, so you have just the standard ones that I showed you earlier, but I also gave you a little sneak peek, a little preview of the global ones. Okay, so these are a really cool feature that we have on the site. So basically a global module or global building block, as you would like to call it, is a building block that is used across multiple pages across the website, but contains all of the same content. Okay, so the benefits of these is if you edit it once on one page, it pulls through everywhere across the site where this module is used. Okay, so a really good example of a global building block would be your navigation. So obviously these drop down options here, clients, sectors, everything up here, because right, this is going to be across every web page, isn't it? It's going to be at the top. But another really good example would be your footer. So this is edited the exact same way as a normal one as well. So all you need to do is scroll down to the bottom, click on it once, click on the pen icon. Okay, so then it brings up the back end of this particular global module. Now you can see in the top right hand corner, it says warning in reds and caps. Don't worry, I know it says warning and it's written in caps in red. Nothing's going to explode, you're not broken anything. It's just literally warning you that if you do make a change here, it will pull through across the rest of the website with this module is, okay? There's nothing to be scared of, okay? So yeah, so if I wanted to make a change in here, let's say, for example, get rid of .co.uk and change it to .com. So a really simple change, right? Hit save. Off there, you can already see it, look, it popped up at the bottom, at the top there, saying it's been saved. Scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can see it says email@domain.com. Now if I want to go to the about us page, bearing in mind I only made this change on the home page, but all the way to the bottom on this one, you can see it has also changed there as well to .com. So I didn't even go on the about us page and it's pulled through. Okay, Change this again, click back on there, change that back to .co.uk, save, back to the home page. And you can see that's gone back and I made the change on the About Us page, okay? So a really good benefit of this, or another instance when you may use it, let's say that specialisms page, that specialisms module here, okay? So you're gonna have the same specialisms, aren't you, across the whole website, okay? So let's say you entered a new specialism, or you no longer work in a certain specialism, you didn't want to have to update it on every single web page, just update it once, and then it'll automatically pull through. So that's just an example of when you may use it. Another example is obviously the navigation. So you click on this the exact same way as you would edit any other module. It'll open up the back end here. So you've got your home page, you've got the about, you've got sectors, current vacancies, media hub, and contact us. So if I want to, let's say we did enter a new sector, I wanted to add that onto the navigation at the top, click sectors, and then that'll open up the back end. So obviously the top level bit was sectors, and then you've got your different drop downs here, which is these, right? DevOps, digital transformation. If I want to add a new one in there, create new, I'll just call it example. Obviously, if I had a page called example and it was a new sector page, I just link it to the one in here. So I'll just link it to the all sectors. As you can see here, obviously these are all sectors DevOps, all sectors DevOps, contingency, recruitment, digital marketing, etc. I would have made this new sector page, right? So I'm just going to click on About Us, save changes, and there you go. That's now added in there. And because I've made a change, I would obviously have to publish that out. So these are just some examples of a global module that you would use across the website. So that is pretty much everything that I would need to go through in terms of like adding a building block, editing a building block, deleting, moving them around, using obviously the functionality of the Venn platform. So I'll just run through some other features at the top. Obviously, we've got the two publish buttons. We've also got these three buttons here. You can view it as it would look like on a mobile. You can view it as it would look like on a tablet or a desktop. But my recommendations to you would be literally just leave it on the desktop view, because all of our modules and building blocks have been designed and built to be responsive depending on the screen size. So if it was on a tiny mobile, then obviously let me just find a module. So one of these ones, for example, where it's three next to each other on desktop, if that was on an iPhone, it would be really small and you wouldn't be able to read it, it wouldn't look right. So the module knows to change it so it's stacked on top of each other in a portrait way, okay? So you just need to know if you're adding a new building block in, it will automatically change to the relevant screen size, okay? So that's those. We've got the refresh page button. And now this one here, this is a really, really useful tool that I will go over now. So basically this is the clone page feature. So I use this one a lot. So this is definitely the best way to build out a new web page in Vennture. Okay, so you can add a new page here on the left hand side, but this would literally start building a page out from scratch. It would be a blank canvas, and a lot of our clients, and well, not even clients, I find it difficult to build a page from scratch, because you don't know where you know what modules go to each other, which ones look right, how many should I have on a page. So the best thing to do that I would recommend for you guys to do is definitely use the clone page feature. Is use the clone page feature, and you can basically make a carbon copy of another page and then just go in and change the content afterwards. Okay, so yeah, so when you use the clone page feature, this would be mostly used for, say, if you're building out a new sector page, okay, because obviously the layout's going to be the exact same. Obviously you just got to have different content due to the new sector. So I'll show you an example now. If you want to go to the all sectors on the left hand side, click on the drop down, then find a page that you wish to clone. Let's say, for example, IT support. So I really like the layout of the IT support page, okay? And I want to create this new sector page. So we've got the title, we've got some stats, some information, etc. So go to the top of this page, click clone page. And this will then bring up the back end of this new web page, okay? So you're now going to start building out this new page, okay? So you've got your page name here. So I'm just going to put test page. The file name, so the file name is the URL. So anything that comes after the /, so it'll be www.vendigefield.co.uk/sectors. Okay, so that's the file name. So if you are going to have a file name, always make sure it's written in lowercase. And if there's more than one word, so like test page, always make sure they're connected using a hyphen, because if there was a space, then there would be a broken link and it wouldn't work. Okay, display name is just what is displayed in the CMS. Scroll down, so we've got a parent page. So we have two different types of pages on Venture. We have a parent page, which is almost like your top level page, and then you have what we call a child page. So something that sits beneath a parent page. So for this example, the parent page would be sectors, and then the child page that would be stored underneath it would be DevOps, test page, digital transformation, digital marketing, etc. You get the idea, okay? So we want to leave the parent page as all sectors. Another example of when you'd use this would be, it could be, say if you're building out a new media page, so the top level page would be the media hub, and then you could have podcast or blog or videos, whatever, to sit underneath it, right? Our child page is stored as folder. Yes, they are, because we know this page that I'm creating is going to be a child page. Scrolling down, you've got the templates and the layouts and the styles. Now, because you're already cloning an existing live page that you like the look of, leave these as they are, okay? You don't need to change the template, you don't need to change the layout or the styles, because you're cloning an existing page, okay? So leave that as it is, okay? And then you just come down to the bottom, you've got your meta titles and descriptions and canonicals that you can use for each one of your page. Obviously, because you're cloning a page, it'll say IT support, but I'm just going to change meta title to test page. Canonical, yeah, exactly. So you can just go through and fill these out, okay? And you've got your additional scripts if you need to put any scripts on the individual pages. This could be for Google Analytics, Google Tag Manager, things like that. Scroll all the way down to the bottom. You want to leave these as they are as well. Oh, don't ask me why it zoomed in there. Click save, and now this is basically creating our new web page, okay? So perfect. The test page has been created. Great, perfect. We've had confirmation. Now, if you see in the top in the URL there, you've got the staging link. You can see it now says /test page. Okay, scrolling down. So this could literally be that DevOps page that we've just cloned, but it's not. As you can see in the URL, this is the test page. So now that you've got the basis for your web page, you can go through and edit all the different content to how you want it. So click on the module, edit the button, DevOps, I'm just going to call it test page. Scroll down and change your image, whatever, click save. There we go, change and save. And this is how you can start to now build out your web page, okay? So as you can see on the left-hand side now, under all sectors, click on the drop-down, underneath sales example, we've got test page, okay? So that's how simple it is to build out a web page. You can now add in new modules, you can move them around, okay? So this is definitely the best way of building out a new web page, okay? Rather than go and add new web page, it'll leave you a blank canvas. I would highly recommend to use the clone page feature, okay? So moving away now from the web pages, that's pretty much everything that you would need to know, and especially in the time that we have. So I'm going to move down and onto the other options on the left-hand side. Do you have any questions in regards to anything that I've mentioned so far? Please just do put them in the chat and we'll be able to go through them at the end in the Q&A as well. But Meg as well, I know is also typing, or she should be. Yeah, I can see that she put some messages in. So if you have any questions, Meg might get back to you as well. Okay, so moving over to the documents. So this is basically any document that you need to upload to your CMS that you may need to use in one of your building blocks, okay? So let's say, for example, you've got a form building block, okay? So you have to fill out this form to be able to access this certain document. So it could be like a weekly newsletter, monthly newsletter, or even a salary guide, okay? But obviously you want them to fill out the form because you want to get all that data captured so then you can contact them at a later date. But obviously in the back end of that form module, you need to upload a document for them to be able to download once they fill out the form. So this is where you would upload that document first. Okay, so it's just like you would upload an image, you click browse and upload it from your files on your computer. And once you've done that, that's fine. You can then use it on that particular building block in the CMS. And this is the exact same with the images as well. So basically, this is just your image library, so where all the images that you've used on the website in the CMS before, this is where you will store them. Basically, if you want to quickly delete them, you can do click delete. But if you want to upload a new one, click browse, and then obviously upload it from your computer. Okay. Yeah, so that's the document image library, very similar features, okay? Scrolling down, again, we've got the published site. So now I've shown you how to publish out an individual page if you've made a change on one page. But what do you do if you've published, or not published, getting ahead of yourself, if you've made some changes across multiple pages on the website? Let's say you've edited the global module, right? You've changed the navigation. You don't want to just publish this one page out because then it's only going to update on the one page. You need to publish out every single web page on the site. And you don't want to have to do that individually because you'll be here for hours, right? You'll literally be here for hours. So if you click publish to live, do a full site publish, then every single web page across the site will publish out. It should still only take a few seconds. It'll be slightly longer, obviously, than its individual page, but publish out the whole site, and then the whole website will have updated. And once you go on the front end, all you need to do is clear your cache, give it a hard refresh, and then you should be able to see your changes in a matter of seconds. One thing to remember though, when you are doing a full site publish, is it does publish out the whole site. Okay, so let's say you've been working on one page, your marketing assistant's been working on another page, and you publish out the whole site. They may have unfinished changes that you've just published live on the website. Okay, so it is always worth noting, just double checking with the team that everyone's happy that you can publish out the whole site to live. Okay. But again, this is why you should do a full site publish to staging first, so that you can test other pages to make sure nothing's broken, or you've got some random lorem ipsum on a page. So publish to staging first, and then publish to live if you are happy. Publishing the files. Now, this is one that does always catch us out, and it catches me out as well. So don't worry if you've fallen victim to this before. So publish out the files is basically when you upload a new document or a new image/video to the website for the first time. So from your browser, you've got it from your files, then you need to publish out the files first, which essentially updates your image and document library into the CMS. So then you can use them within the module. So let's say, for example, you've got your new headshots, as we spoke about before, and you've put them in the building block that you've just put on the website. You've built out this new page, you've got all this brand new content, the words are there, and you've added these new images from your computer, these new headshots on. You publish them to live, you check the website. I mean, you publish to staging first, right? So it won't go live, publish to staging first, and you can see, well, you can't see any of the images. All you can see is the new content. So I get an email saying, Sam, why can't I see any of the new updates? Venture must be broken. No, it's not. You just need to publish your files out first, then you'll check, publish the pages out again to staging, and then your images or document will be there. And then once you're happy with them, then you can publish them out to live, okay? So this will become second nature to you, so don't worry if you do forget and you seem like, oh, why isn't this image loading? 9 times out of 10, you just need to publish out your files and then publish out the page again, and they will have updated with the content. So this is essentially everyone that has access to the sites. As you can see there, Jane Smith, that is me for today. Jane Smith's the only person who has access to this example one, okay? But if you wanted to add a new member, that's really easy to do. You can just let me know and we can create them account for you. But it is also worth noting, if someone leaves, please do also tell us, because we have had it in the past where someone may have left on bad terms and still had access to the CMS. And as you can imagine, this only ended up one way. So please do let us know some leads and we can delete them from the CMS. But obviously, if someone joins as well, we can create them an account. We can also give them different types of access. So we can give them administrator, and we can also just give them content editor. So if it's like a junior or an apprentice, something like that, we can just give them content editor. They can't post anything. Now, going on to the last but not least is the site settings, okay? So there's quite a few bits in here that we will need to go through. Some bits can be quite complicated, and I know I've been talking at you now for about 45 minutes, so just bear with, stay with me. There's not too long left. So we'll just go to the site settings at the bottom. Now, on the right-hand side, you've got all these different options, okay? So you have the site settings. So this is where you can input different scripts and codes across your website. So something like Google Tag Manager, your cookie banners if you have one, what else? Google Analytics, or even like a chat box. So obviously on the Venn digital website at the bottom right here, we have welcome to Venn, how can we help? So this is a chat bot, and all that is a script that we've embedded into the website. So you just populate it into there, you just paste it in. Likewise with Google Analytics or anything like that, pop them in there, hit save, and once you've saved, you can publish out your files again, and then these scripts will be pulled through onto the website, and you'll be able to see that chatbot. Google Analytics should then be tracking. So yeah, moving down, so that's that. We've got the list of global modules. So we know we've got the documents and image library. This is essentially your global modules, your building block library, right? So you can just see them all here. So if you don't want to find them on the website or on the individual web pages, shall I say, you can just find them in here as well. So you can search if you have a lot. So it'd be nav for navigation. Okay, it's not called nav. What's it called? It could be called top. There we go. So it's default top, and then you can just click on that, and then you can see this is just the top level of your different sectors. So you got your sectors, clients, etc. Okay, so that's just another way of editing your list of global modules. Going down, you've got your URL rewrites. Okay, so this is a very, very useful feature that we use a lot. Okay, so let's go back to the charity Right, we're going back to the charity example that I've been using throughout the session. So why would you change? Okay, so you've built your new page, right? You've built out your brand new page and about this charity work that you've done. You've raised so much money. You're really proud of it. You've got all the consultants to share it on their LinkedIn. You've put it on your Facebook. It's even gone into your family WhatsApp group chat, right? Okay, but now 3 months down the line, you're no longer proud of this page. You've deleted it from your website. Okay, so you've deleted it. It's no longer exists in the CMS. It no longer exists on the website. Not even there. But some people may still have that digital trace of it. Okay, so some people may still have your link. It's in your WhatsApp. It's on the Facebook. It's on LinkedIn. Some people may have saved it. Don't ask me why they would have saved it, but they may have bookmarked or favorited it. So if they click on that link, obviously the web page doesn't exist anymore. They're going to be landed with a 404 error. Okay, and obviously we don't want that. So 404 error does get penalized by Google in your ranking. So a really good way to avoid getting a 404 error is by adding a URL rewrite in. Okay. Basically, you pop in the old URL of the old website. So in the example here, we've got pet and supplies. Don't ask me why we have pet supplies. Someone's obviously clearly been writing about pet supplies. So we'll just stick with it. Stay with me. So we've got pet supplies there as the old URL. So now we're going to the new URL. Yeah, great. So perfect. Meet the team. Click add rewrite. So now, as you can see here, the old URL is pet supplies and the new URL is meet the team. So basically, anyone that has access to the old URL of pet supplies, you click on it once, they would have previously landed on a 404 error, but now that we've created this URL redirect, they're now going to be taken straight to the meet the teams page. That benefits you because it doesn't Google doesn't dismiss you and tarnish you for having that 404 error, but it's also better for the user and they're more likely to come back to your website because they've not been landed with a 404 and they're more likely to carry on looking throughout the rest of your website. You can change it to so they go to the job search page, the home page, about us, whatever it may be. You can choose to redirect. Once you've added it in there as well, you just click publish site files. You've given it you're there in red in caps, so you know you need to publish your files for it to pull through. If you wish to remove it, it's dead simple. Click remove, untick that, save and update, and then that URL redirect has moved as well. So it's really easy to use, a really useful tool that I do use a lot. Scrolling down to the last but not least is really the email templates and the email addresses. Okay, so this is where it can get slightly confusing. Okay, it's really not too confusing. So basically, to any form that you guys may have on your website, and I'm not talking job applications or anything like that because the job applications are all managed, are all managed in the Vennture Recruit, okay, which is going to be a different video. But something like a getting contacts form, a drop off your CV, or a sign up to the monthly newsletter that I was talking about before, these are all forms, right? And when they fill these out, the candidate will receive an email saying, thank you for filling out a form, thank you for getting in touch. Someone from the Venn digital team will be in contact soon. And likewise, if it is a drop off your CV form, then you guys as the recruiter will also receive an email saying, hey, someone has filled out this form and check out their details below. Okay, so they're two separate emails. Okay, and these are what we call email templates. And this section here is where you manage those templates. Okay, you can have as many templates as you want. So you click on email templates, it opens them up here. So for this example, we just have the thank you for getting in contact with us template. Okay, so you click on that. You can see here, this is essentially the email that the candidate will receive. The subject is thank you for contacting us. You can edit this if you wanted to change it to thank you for getting in touch. You can edit this. So dear user, will be in contact with you shortly. You can edit this however you want. Thanks, the Venn team, whatever it is you want to put in there, you can change. Okay, so it's completely customizable to yourselves. At the bottom here, so you've got a redirect to page. So whenever anyone fills out this form, so it's the get in contact form, you can choose the page to redirect them to. So obviously it wants it to be a thank you page. Click on there. Again, it's just a drop down of all the different forms you have on the website. Scroll down because you would have already built your thank you pages and just select one. There you go. So thank you for registering. Job application, contact us form. Okay, so these are the different thank you pages. You just choose whichever one you want to build. And the best thing about this, you can build as many as you want. So you can have thank you for, and there can be slight changes, but it just makes it slightly better rather than just a generic thanks one. It could be thank you for downloading our media item, thank you for getting in contact, thank you for filling out our CV form, thank you for whatever it may be. You can have as many as you want, and you can just link all these different templates to them. Okay, so yeah, hit save changes. And then that template has now been saved, okay? So now you want to go to your list of email addresses. So this is where those emails now go to, okay? So let's say, for example, you've got most of our clients normally have like a no reply at, and then obviously the company's name, so like no reply at venn.co.uk. So if I click add new email, I'm just going to call it, no reply at venn.co.uk. Copy that, paste it in there, save address. Okay, so I've built this out now. And then you can see all the email list of all the different templates has appeared. Obviously, if you've got loads of different templates, we've just got the one for this example. It's just the contact us. You can have a download one, etc., etc. Now you can choose which template goes to what email address. So obviously, when the candidate receives a thank you email, so that template we've just created, you want it to come from no reply at venn.co.uk. Okay, so I hit save. Now, if we had a different template, let's just say it was contact us recruiter. The subject, the body would be someone has just got in contact. See details below. Okay, you don't need to worry about it. The system will automatically pull it throughout their data. Many thanks. This will literally just be good. You don't need to redirect it to a page because this is just going to you guys. Save changes. I'll take the name. I'm just going to call it user. Hit save. For example, go back to email addresses. So this is the one that's going to go to the recruiter saying someone has just got in contact with you. Click on, so it may be a generic one that everyone has, is like marketing at venn.co.uk. Paste it in there, save. Okay, so now you can see the two different types of email templates that we have. So one's obviously the thank you. We don't want the thank you email to go to us, because why would we want it to go? We want it to go to the client. So it's the user one, which is the one that says someone's dropped off their data. We want this email template to go to marketing at venndigital.co.uk. Okay, so you can understand why it's slightly complex, but you just go save templates, and now anyone that fills out that contact us form, they'll get a thank you email coming from no reply at Venn, and then the data that goes to your company, so the recruiter, will go to marketing at Venn. Okay, and the best thing about it, you can have as many email addresses as you want. So the general one, you can copy yourself in. You can blind copy yourself in as well. So anyone that fills out that, someone else. So maybe like the CEO may want to see how many people are getting in contact. Or something like that. You may want loads of different people to see it. So you can set up as many as you want. So it's a really useful tool. Okay, so that's the email templates and that's the email addresses. We do also have help docs on this as well. So if what I said is just gone completely over your heads, then just refer to the help docs as well that I showed you at the start of the call. So the email data, this is basically all the different forms where you can manage all the different data. So you can see what's going on. Okay, so if you just click on the form, so this is the thank you contact us template, you can see if someone had filled it out. Obviously someone's not filled it out, but you can go back as long as you want to see between the time frame. So 1st of October last year to the 14th of April we are in now. I can see filter data, and you can see all applications that have come through here. You can have loads. It will give their date when they filled it out, the URL of the page that it was on, because of course the get in contact module is going to be on several pages. It could be on the about us homepage, contact us page. So it'll give you the URL of the page that it's been on, the name, first name, last name, email address, phone number, and CV if they've dropped one as well. And there's sometimes a message. You can see the message in there. You can export all of this data as well, and you can export this data to Excel. So it's really useful if you want to be able to have a look at the Excel. You can have a look at it internally. You can think, okay, so you can filter by page URL. So you can see I've had X amount of applications filled through on the About Us page, but I've had way more on the Contact Us page. So you can look at it and think, well, why is that? Then you go back into the CMS, you have a look where the building block is. Okay, so on the About Us page, the Get in Contact module or building block is at the bottom, whereas on the Contact Us page, it's at the very top. So obviously from a user journey experience, you can see that many more people are using or dropping their CV off on this one because it's higher up on the page. So then you can use that data, go back into CMS, move the module around, obviously using the drag and drop feature, and then you can start to study, see if moving that module around has actually benefited you and you're getting more CVs dropped. So therefore, obviously, you can send it to consultants and they can reach out and basically you can make more money, okay, which is what we're all here for, okay? So that's a really useful tool. And then last but not least is the site history, okay? So you guys do have access to the site history. And these are my favorite parts of the CMS, I can't lie. Obviously, when I'm on my main account, I have the admin access. I do also have a recycle bin, okay? So the site history is really useful for me because as I'm sure you guys can imagine, I have a lot of clients come up to me saying, hey Sam, I don't know what's just happened, but the jobs are just all randomly deleted off the website. The jobs page isn't there. It must be Venture's fault. It must be your fault. I promise it wasn't my fault. And then I just love going back into the site history, as you can imagine, and seeing what change has been done. And I can see about 30 seconds before they emailed in saying the Venture's broken, I can see that the client has actually just deleted the jobs. But not to worry. I go into the recycle bin, which you guys won't actually have access to, and I can reverse any changes. So don't worry about that. If something does break, you accidentally delete something, I will screenshot it and let you know that it was you and not us. No, I ain't drinking a bone. I'll just make the change. I'll revert it, and then no one will have to know that you deleted all your jobs. Okay. So yeah, so that is essentially a whistle-stop tour of the Venture CMS. Actually, I guess it's really not a whistle-stop tour, is it? I went into quite a lot of detail.